I purchased this. I got inspiration from that, and this is what I created. And I'll show you how I did it. I started out with this engine here. This is an Atlas SW9. I was going to make this a Blunami engine, so I went ahead and sold the guts and I started the deconstruction process. For removing paint off a model, I've used 91% isopropyl alcohol and had really good success in the past. Here you can see on the plastic cab, the paint came off completely. I used this perfect plastic putty to fill a window on the rear door. Because the hood is metal, the paint was a little harder to get off. So on the metal hood, I used this citrus strip stripping gel. I just painted it on with a brush, let it sit for a little bit, and then scraped it right off. I had my primer coat and my silver stripe painted in no time. I got a paint sample from the SMS, that's the blotch in the middle. I tried to match it up as best I can. I ended up selecting Tamiya Mica Blue. I think it's a pretty good match. I wanted to put the Blunami board in the back where it would be covered by the plastic part of the cab. I couldn't use the standard batteries I like to use because they were too big. I found this great little battery. It's a 3-cell 11.1 volt 2000 mAh battery for an airsoft gun. It's lithium ion, so it's easy to charge, and it fit great. This was my initial setup, but I found it was very troublesome to get the cab and hood on and off the frame, and it just wasn't seating properly. What I ended up doing was putting everything in the hood, and it fit much better. Lighting on this model is fairly simple, just a headlight and a rear light. So connection to the Blunami board was very easy. The only wires that go to the frame are the speaker wire and the motor power wire, and you can see here I have a connector on those so I can disconnect the shell easily from the frame. As you might imagine, SMS decals are not readily available at every hobby shop. I actually was able to find these decals for a different SMS engine at CMR Products. I needed a white logo with blue letters, and this would work perfectly. I actually ordered the N-scale decals for that small SMS logo on the back door. There's no other logos on the model, just text. So I thought I would use the microscale blue railroad Roman letters and apply everything I needed one letter at a time. This was very challenging to get right, but I finally got everything applied. And then, even though I clear coated it, the decals started falling off. I was really disappointed with that. So I reached out to Highball Graphics, and they custom made me some SMS decals, and they went on perfectly and they looked great. And it wasn't expensive at all because there was no artwork involved, it was just text. So highly recommend Highball Graphics if you need some decals. I'm going to be using them again for another project. I did a few custom add-ons that I'm really happy with. I ordered some metal etch parts from KV Models, specifically made for the Atlas SW9. I got these great window shades, which went on fairly well, and I also got these window frames, which just look awesome. One thing I do recommend, you get the proper cutting tool for the etched metal and the proper bending tool. I tried to do these originally without the proper cutting tool, and I went out and bought the tool because it was really difficult to do. I also made a 3-chime horn for this model. The prototype has a 3-chime horn, but the model only came with a single chime horn. And probably my biggest accomplishment, this scale pilot. I'm just so happy with the way this turned out. And I had to also custom make these front handrails because the model didn't come with any. So I used the pictures I had and made these out of brass, and very happy with that as well. So I'm not even going to say anything else. I'm just going to share some pictures of the process. One other thing I really like about this model is the smokestacks come off, which is really cool because that's how I can access everything I need. You can see part of the battery right there in that checkerboard, black and white. There's my charge port right there for the battery, so I just have to pull that out with a pair of tweezers and I can charge up the battery. Got a simple USB charging connection, and there is my on-off switch to run the engine. So enough of me yapping, let's get this thing started up and see what it can do. We'll flip on the switch.